we're dealing. I love BTS. Okay, so the Fake Love music video came out yesterday. These are just some of my thoughts and opinions of it so far. I've only watched it around 10 times kind of thing. They're so detailed and they're so intricate that I feel like I'm gonna miss everything, but that's why I make these videos. You know, you guys can have a discussion down below. If I missed something, tell me. If I got something wrong, tell me. It's okay. Okay, so I want to start off by saying that at the start of this music video series, the music videos felt very, very based in this reality, based in our world, like right here, right now. But as the music videos have progressed, they've kind of become more not fantasy-esque, but they've become more, this isn't something that actually happens in real life, and so it becomes more kind of whimsical. Whimsical was the wrong word to use there, more like illusion-esque visions kind of thing, not really like real life, but like illusions. Now in the first teaser, we get introduced to the idea of the magic shop. Magic shop is a psychodramatic technique that exchanges fear for a positive attitude. Now, whereas most of the members walked up and gave an object that was related to a bad memory from the highlight reel and got back a good memory, Jungkook is like thrown into it. He like falls into it almost as if he's the offering. And Jungkook receives a key. Now, most of the things I'm going to say in this video are my own ideas, my own interpretations, but this is something that I did see floating around online. Now, a lot of people know that these music videos are related to omelas, I think if that's how you pronounce it. I don't really know, I'm going to put the word here. But a lot of people know that the music videos are related to omelas, and in that, what I've taken from what people have said online is that a boy is locked away for everybody else's happiness. So a lot of people have been saying that Jungkook has sacrificed himself for the happiness of his youngs. Now, getting into the actual music video itself, we see a flower in a glass container and sand, and I just want to say that that to me is important. And we see Jin close a curtain. Now, when Jin closes the curtain, it looks like he's closing the curtain to the outside world because it's this kind of like rich orangey color, so it looks like sunlight. But when he closes the curtains and we see Jungkook and the curtains are closing on Jungkook, Jungkook seems to be in a blank, bare room, which again could be tied to Jungkook being locked away for the happiness of others. Now, the first thing that I noticed was the dance with the hands behind it, like the cement hands behind it. And this kind of connected in my head to DNA. So in DNA, they're all dancing together, and a lot of the times they have their hands linked together. They do that like really cool thing where I was like, and I'm like, they all like, their hands are interlocked, but they're moving together. DNA was supposed to be the happiest love story ever. I mean, like, it's the most perfect love. It's in your DNA. You two were meant to be together. But then fake love is there being flaws in love because you're not being true to yourself. So in DNA, the hands are all locked together, and with Suga's little like really cute little rap part, they're all kind of moving together in a line. But the first dance move that I noticed in fake love was that it was like a domino effect, that like one would stop here and in a pose, like in a statue pose, and they would kind of like tumble out. Like it's kind of like almost like a rug unfolding, and they don't really touch hands in this video, and obviously like the cement hands behind them aren't connected, so like it's the love going from this perfect connected thing to being separated, all moving together, all being on the same page, being on the same wavelength, so all of a sudden these falling jolted movements and not all together. So going back to the flower in the glass, Jin desperately was protecting that flower in that glass when like all the windows around him were shattering in, but I don't know how, because it doesn't, you don't see the flower being taken away, but the flower is removed. There's a really big I feel like there's a really big connection between Jungkook and Jin and then the rest of the boys. So Jungkook and the key are also related, and you see Jungkook in a little keyhole, and then it zooms out and you see J-Hope in a room that's like childhood-like. It has all these like toys and like things from the circus kind of thing, and it's just a very childlike room. It's very messy and very torn apart, but it's a childlike room. And Jungkook and J-Hope actually do this like really cool like mirrored dance where like they like connect hands and then he goes like this. So like it happens a few times throughout the video where Jungkook will be the mirror image of one of his brothers, and Jungkook is often the mirror image of Jin, but we see Jungkook as the mirror image of J-Hope in the dance, and then we see Jungkook in the mirror and then facing RM later on, and so like we just see like him being connected with his members. I just want to put it in here that this is me literally thinking out loud. I want you guys to help me develop my ideas, because sometimes like I get the ideas but I can't always develop them or vocalize how I feel about them. We constantly see Jungkook looking over his members. We see him looking through a vent in at Jin when Jin is in that weird bathroom thing. We also see Jungkook looking at Suga through like barred up wood, but this time, when it was Jungkook and Jin and when it was Jungkook and J-Hope, he was in complete and utter darkness. It was like completely bare. It was like he was in a small tiny box, but it was a little bit brighter when he was looking at Suga, and Suga and Jungkook are connected from the Wings mini-series. We also see Taehyung with Save Me written behind him, and obviously they have the song Save Me, but if you turn that upside down, it said I'm fine. So it was Save Me this way, but then I'm fine. So it's Save Me, but mirrored it says I'm fine. And Jungkook is always the mirror. So it's like Save Me, but mirrored he looks like he's fine. Oh my god, what is going on? Why am I like this? And then there's this beautiful, 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 beautiful scene when the music stops and Jungkook walks out and we see the same glass container and sand that we saw with Jin. So this is a really, really cool connection from Jungkook to Jin. Jungkook picks up the sand, and obviously sand doesn't stay in your hand, so it does start coming out through his fingers, but in his reflection, not his reflection, sorry, in his shadow we see little petals coming up. So the petals have gone away from where Jin is and are showing up in the shadow. I'm going insane. Then we see Jimin and Suga going through these really extreme situations, but there's a really interesting thing about these really extreme situations. So we've seen Suga in a burning room in I Need You, and we've also seen Jimin in a bathtub trying to drown himself in I Need You. And those are the elements that we see for both of these guys, but they're in very, very extreme circumstances. All this water just comes flooding in on top of Jimin as if he was in like, have you ever seen the Titanic and when like the captain's like standing there and all the water just like floods in on him? It's like a flood of water just comes in on top of him. And then for Suga, it's this big blast of flames. But they seem very, very, very unbothered by what's going on around them. Almost as if they're desensitized to it. Desensitized. How do you pronounce that word? They're they're desensitized. Like, it's actually really, really interesting. You see Suga looking damn fine, might I say, in his curly hair. I just had to put that in there. And he gives this like really subtle smile at the flames. Like, he's sitting there and he sees the flames, and like a normal person who was in reality who sees those flames would be running. But he sits there and he gives this very, very small, very subtle like, as if he knows this isn't real. It's like he knows he's in some fantasy. It's like he knows there's so many other layers to what's going on around him than what he can see and what he can feel. And then the last thing I want to touch on, and I probably missed out on so much, so please, 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 please comment it down below. Anything you saw, anything you feel like is relevant, was at the end with the coat hangers like that were in Singularity, and that weird person with the mask, who was in the magic shop and was also, a lot of people have been drawing connection to him and fire, you know, and yeah. But also the mask in Singularity and the way like Taehyung was like moving around the mask in Singularity. So some people are like, is Taehyung why this is all happening? So yeah, that's all I could get after like around 10 viewings of this music video. I just really, really wanted to get something out, even if I missed out so much, because I want to start a conversation. I might make a follow-up video on this based on comments, based on new information. Please, 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 please tell me what you think down below. I'd really love to hear you guys' opinions, and I'd really just love to hear like I'd really love to hear somebody's take on my thoughts, and I'd really love to hear like how we could develop this and be all crazy together. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, turn on post notifications, follow me on my other social media, the link down below, and I will see you when I see you. Bye!